A blaze of eye presence, driving accountability and ownership within your team. How many times have you heard these words at work? That wasn't my responsibility. Or, I thought someone else was handling it. It's frustrating, isn't it? Deadlines slip. Projects stall. Energy drains. And instead of solving the problem, everyone points fingers. Here's the truth: accountability doesn't just happen. Ownership doesn't magically appear. They're built intentionally by strong leaders who know how to create the right culture. And the best part? When accountability is present, stress goes down, performance goes up. And leaders no longer carry the entire burden. Today, we're going to learn exactly how to make that shift. Welcome to Ablazify, the place where leaders and dreamers learn to grow skills that actually move the needle. If you're tired of chasing people down or repeating instructions, stay tuned. Because driving accountability isn't about pushing harder, it's about leading smarter. Let's break down 6 powerful strategies you can use to build accountability and ownership within your team. 1. Set crystal clear expectations. Accountability begins where ambiguity ends. Most people don't intentionally underperform, they simply aren't fully sure what's expected. That's why clarity is leadership's first responsibility. Be precise about what success looks like, when it's due, and who owns it. Replace vague phrases like as soon as possible with by Friday, 3 p.m. When goals are visible and measurable, people perform with confidence. Clarity eliminates confusion, and confusion is the enemy of accountability. 2. Give people ownership, not just tasks. Ownership is a mindset, not a checklist. When leaders assign outcomes instead of isolated tasks, something shifts. People begin to think beyond their job description. Instead of saying, send the client update, say, you own client communication this quarter. That ownership inspires initiative. It signals trust. People who feel trusted rarely disappoint. They plan better, take pride in results, and push harder to deliver excellence, because the outcome feels personal, not just procedural.
In my early days as a manager, I constantly felt like I was babysitting. I had to remind people about deadlines, chase after updates, and double-check everything. It was exhausting. A mentor challenged me to stop assigning tasks and start assigning outcomes. I told one of my team members, "You're in charge of delivering the entire campaign, from start to finish." At first, I was nervous. What if she dropped the ball? But to my surprise, she took full ownership. She coordinated with design, checked in with clients, and even solved problems before I knew they existed. That moment changed how I led. When you give people real ownership, most rise higher than you expect.
3. Lead with accountability yourself. You can't demand accountability if you don't demonstrate it. Teams take their cues from leaders. If you miss deadlines, make excuses, or shift blame, that behavior quietly becomes the team standard. But when you own your mistakes, deliver on promises, and communicate transparently, it sends a louder message than any speech ever could. Accountability is contagious, but only when it starts at the top. 4. Create a culture of feedback. Accountability thrives where open dialogue exists. Encourage your team to exchange feedback regularly, not just during reviews. When peers respectfully call each other in, not out, it builds a sense of shared responsibility. As a leader, model healthy feedback yourself. Ask questions like, what can I do differently to support you? This transforms accountability from something imposed to something practiced collectively. 5. Celebrate ownership loudly. Positive reinforcement multiplies what you want to see. When someone steps up, solves a problem proactively, or delivers beyond expectations, acknowledge it publicly. Celebrate not just results, but initiative. Share those wins in team meetings, newsletters, or casual shoutouts. Over time, recognition builds momentum. People begin to realize that accountability isn't just expected, it's respected and rewarded.
I used to think accountability was about being strict, tracking hours, checking progress every day, and pointing out mistakes. But all it did was create tension. My team worked, but with zero motivation. Then I flipped the script. Instead of micromanaging, I started leading with trust. I asked each team member to define their own goals and check-in points. One person said, "I actually want to own the reporting process fully." Another stepped up to handle all client presentations. Suddenly, accountability felt natural. It was their idea, not just mine. Within months, performance improved and stress levels dropped. I realized accountability isn't control, it's empowerment.
6. Make consequences clear, but supportive. True accountability balances clarity and compassion. If commitments are repeatedly missed, don't jump straight to criticism. Instead, explore why. Ask, what's blocking you? Or what support do you need to meet this next time? Then follow through with consistent consequences, not as punishment, but as structure. People perform best when they know expectations are firm, feedback is fair, and leadership is rooting for their success. Now imagine a team where you don't have to chase people down. Where everyone knows their role, owns their results, and even holds each other accountable. Imagine walking into meetings where updates are proactive, not excuses. Where responsibility is shared, not avoided. Where you, as the leader, finally have the freedom to focus on strategy instead of firefighting. That's the power of accountability and ownership. It doesn't just make your team more productive, it makes them more confident, more trustworthy, and more capable of achieving big goals together. So here's your challenge this week: pick one project and shift from tasks to ownership. Instead of saying, "Do this step," say, "You own this outcome." Then watch the difference. If this video gave you insights, hit the like button, drop a comment, and share it with a fellow leader who's struggling to drive accountability in their team. Sometimes one mindset shift can change everything. And don't forget to subscribe to Ablazify for more practical tools on leadership, growth mindset, and personal success, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.